Huh? I'm lucky that my parents don't care what I do.
No boots on the ground, no bombs in the air. No boots on the ground, no bombs in the air. No boots on the ground, no bombs in the air. US out of everywhere. US out of everywhere. No boots on the ground, no bombs in the air. US out of everywhere. US out of everywhere. No boots on the ground, no bombs in the air. US out of everywhere. US out of everywhere. Give it up for yourselves. We are here today on the 72nd anniversary of Armistice Day in Korea. Right after the historic People's Summit for Korea, an international, multi-generational gathering of anti-imperialist, anti-war organizations. Together this past weekend, we discussed the movement for Korean national liberation and how to unite within the global fight against imperialism and capitalism everywhere. So we are here today in Times Square to demand armistice then and liberation now. Ceasefire then, liberation now. My name is Elliot. I'm a member of Noruto for Korean Community Development, an organization of Koreans and allies against imperialism and for Korea's national liberation. 72 years ago, the United States and North Korea signed a military agreement to bring a ceasefire to the Korean War and create the demilitarized zone, the DMZ, that divides our homeland to this very day. While the Armistice Agreement ended the active fighting, the Korean War never truly ended. The United States continues to occupy and terrorize our homeland with dozens of military bases across South Korea, annual war exercises, and sanctions against North Korea. We all know this imperialist playbook too well. We see it everywhere. Everywhere across the globe, we see these same tactics used wherever the tentacles of US imperialism reach. Armistice does not end occupation. Liberation does. Ceasefire does not bring peace. Only liberation does. It is not a coincidence we're here in Times Square. Across from us is the U.S. Military Recruiting Office. In the heart of U.S. empire, we are here to demand that we are not just an end to the Korean War, but we want self-determination and national liberation. Where our future and our land is in the hands of our people. We learned this past weekend how we can continue to struggle for a world free of imperialism. So let us not only take this to heart, but put into action. At this rally, we'll hear from our speakers from anti-war, anti-imperialist, and national liberation movements from the United States and South Korea, as well as performances from our amazing Pungmul team. Just as a reminder, we have ice packs, we have water, we have snacks here, and we'll be going around passing them around. So please come see us if you need anything. And so I would love to introduce our first speaker. It is my honor to introduce our very own Kari. Give it up for Kari.
Thank you. In Korea, today, July 27th, is Armistice Day. On this day, in 1953, the United States and North Korea signed a military agreement that established a ceasefire for the Korean War. The armistice was intended to be temporary, lasting no more than a few months. But the U.S. military continues its presence in the Korean Peninsula to this day. On Armistice Day last year, Nodutor launched our U.S. Out of Korea campaign. 1 year later, we are here in Times Square to recommit ourselves to the struggle of national liberation. On this anniversary of the ceasefire in Korea, we are reminded that a ceasefire is not enough. Ceasefires may pause the bloodshed, but they don't end occupation. From Korea to Palestine, the only path to true peace is to unite against our common enemy, U.S. imperialism. Just as the U.S. empire pours billions into funding the Zionist occupation of Palestine to expand its political and economic interests in the Middle East, the billionaires pour billions of dollars into funding the military occupation of South Korea to expand its political and economic interests in the Asia Pacific. Military occupation does not end violence, oppression, and imperialism. Only national liberation and a true sovereignty and people's democracy will. The U.S. claims that its occupation of South Korea is to defend democracy, but the only thing that the U.S. is defending in South Korea is capitalism. For decades, capitalists in America made billions off the toil and sweat off of our people in South Korea. They gutted U.S. cities and moved their factories overseas to exploit Korean workers. Whenever South Korea's economy became too advanced, the U.S. forced it to open its economy to U.S. corporations, revalue its currency, and take on more debt. Now, the governments of South Korea and the United States are in negotiations over Trump's tariffs. Trump is trying to sell these tariffs as something that will benefit U.S. workers. This is nothing but a lie. These tariffs won't make things better for U.S. workers. They're just another tax that workers will pay for while their bosses pocket the benefits. The administration says the tariffs will force Korean companies to create American jobs. But look at what South Korean corporations already actually do here in the United States. 3 years ago, Hyundai was caught using child labor in its supply chain in Alabama. And in Tennessee, where LG produces its washing machines, most of the work is automated. Nothing this administration does is for the working class. Look at every single thing Trump has done to the US economy. Cuts to Medicaid, cuts to Social Security, federal layoffs, and billions of wasted dollars for ICE and the war machine. And just as the Trump administration doesn't care about the working class here in the United States, it doesn't have the well-being of the Korean people in its heart. These terror threats are driving South Korea to the verge of a recession. And countless workers could lose their jobs if corporations move their factories over here. Trump's plan isn't to benefit the working class. It's to impoverish Korean workers and give capitalists the opportunity and chance to exploit the people here in the United States. This is nothing more than another cash grab for the ruling class coming out of the pockets of workers here and abroad. And these tariffs aren't just about ripping off Korean workers or selling the US workers to the capitalists. It's also about the war economy. Trump wants South Korea to build warships for the United States. And he wants to build new bases in South Korea to build the Golden Dome. For the US, it's not enough to exploit Korea economically, but the empire also wants military exploitation. One clear sign of this military exploitation, Trump right now is demanding that South Korea pay $10 billion a year to the US for its occupation. On top of that, the US is demanding that South Korea raise its defense budget, which is already $48 billion a year, to at least $87 billion a year. That money should go to social services, to our elderly, to the disabled, to children and single parents, to the unemployed. Instead, the US wants South Korea to spend it on buying US weapons. This is the same economy that's killing people here in the United States, that's forcing our neighbors to live without food or shelter, that's putting our youth in classrooms that have less and less resources and more students in them every year. Thanks to the big, beautiful bill, we have $1 trillion for the US military. Yet 12 million people will be kicked off their insurance next year due to cuts to Medicaid. This isn't about Korean jobs versus American jobs. This is about the international working class against the capitalist class, the wretched of the earth against the empire. When we say armistice then, liberation now, we mean this. We don't just want an armistice. We demand an end to the Korean War. We demand an end to the US occupation of Korea. We demand a world free of war. And an economy that is not fueled, a world free of an economy that is fueled by war. We demand a world world where people both in Korea and the United States have sovereignty and democracy, and we demand a system that takes care of our youth, our elders, and the working class.
Pakistan to Palestine, US out of Korea. Give it up for yourself. When I say from Pakistan to Palestine, I want to hear you say US out of Korea. Ready? From Pakistan to Palestine, US out of Korea. 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 Thank you, Kari. Give it up for Kari. So it is my honor to bring up Son Mi-hee. Son Mi-hee is the co-chair of the Korean Alliance for Progressive Movement, which is a united front organization representing millions of students, workers, peasants, and peace activists in South Korea. So please give it up for Son Mi-hee.
안녕하십니까? 예, 한국에서 온 한국진보연대 공동대표 손미 여러분께 투쟁으로 인사드리겠습니다. 투쟁!
Greetings, everyone. My name is Son Mi-hee, and I'm co-representative of the Korean Progressive Alliance. I greet you all with my most militant salute.
미제의 코비드를 이기고 드디어 여러분과 함께하게 되었습니다. 너무나 좋습니다.
I'm here with you today after defeating COVID, the American imperialist virus.
동지 여러분, 우리는 지금 제국주의의 심장부에서 코리아 반제 자주 실현을 위한 국제연대 투쟁의 한복판에 서 있습니다.
Comrades, we are standing here today in the belly of the beast in the international struggle for the anti-imperialist national liberation of Korea.
이 투쟁은 단지 한 나라만의 문제가 아닙니다. 전 세계 민중이 겪고 있는 제국주의의 지배, 전쟁, 착취에 맞서는 국제연대의 외침이고 호소이고 싸움입니다.
This struggle is not about just one nation. It is a cry, is it a call and a fight of international solidarity against the domination, war, and exploitation imposed by imperialism on the peoples of the world.
한 조선반도는 지금도 정전 상태입니다. 미군이 주둔하고 미국이 전쟁 연습을 지휘하며 남북의 평화와 통일이 가로막혀 있습니다.
The Korean Peninsula is currently under ceasefire, but U.S. troops are stationed on our land. They practice war on our land and obstruct the path to peace and reunification of our country.
이것이 자주입니까? 아니요! 이것이 주권 있는 나라입니까? 아니요! 우리는 더 이상 외세의 지배를, 통제를, 간섭을 용납할 수 없습니다.
Is this sovereignty? No! Is this what it means to be a sovereign nation? No! We will will no longer tolerate domination, control, and interference by foreign powers.
동시에 우리는 팔레스타인의 외침도 듣고 있습니다. 가자 지구에서는 미국이 지원한 이스라엘의 폭격이 아이들을 학살하고 있습니다.
And at the same time, we hear the voices from Palestine. Israel, backed by the US, is massacring the children of Palestine.
우크라이나, 시리아, 쿠바, 베네수엘라에서도 똑같은 제국주의의 그림자가 드리워져 있습니다.
In Ukraine, Syria, Cuba, and Venezuela, the same shadow of imperialism looms.
그러기에 이제 우리는 말합니다. 한반도의 사주는 코리아만의 문제가 아니다. 팔레스타인의 해방도, 중동의 평화도, 세계 민중의 자주도 모두 하나의 싸움이다.
To that we say, the national liberation of the Korean Peninsula is for all of us. The liberation of Palestine, the peace of the Middle East, and the self-determination of the world's people. These are all one struggle.
우리는 알고 있습니다. 미국 중심의 제국주의 질서를 깨트리지 않고는 진짜 평화도, 진짜 자주도 올 수 없다는 것을.
We know that without breaking the US-centered imperialist center order, true peace and true independence will never come.
그래서 우리는 싸웁니다. 코리아의 자주를 위하여, 팔레스타인의 해방을 위하여, 세계 민중의 연대를 위하여.
And that is why we fight for Korea's sovereignty, for Palestine's liberation, and for the solidarity of the world's people.
동지 여러분, 연대는 우리가 가진 가장 강력한 무기입니다. 국제 민중은 하나입니다. 우리는 단결해야 합니다. 우리는 반드시 이깁니다.
Comrades, solidarity is the most powerful weapon we wield. The peoples of the world must unite. The peoples of the world are one, and we will win!
코리아 자주 실현하자! 국제연대 강화하자! 반드시 승리하자! 투쟁! 고맙습니다.
Let us win Korea's national liberation! Let us strengthen international solidarity! We must win! We will win! Today! Today!
네, 구호 한번 외쳐보겠습니다, 동지들. 네, 아세이 한반도 악의 축 미군을 몰아내자. You say 몰아내자, 몰아내자, 몰아내자. 투쟁. 오케이. 한반도 악의 축 미군을 몰아내자. 한반도 악의 축 미군을 몰아내자.
Thank you, Son Min-hee. Next, we have Yuran from Koreans for Decolonization. Koreans for Decolonization is a collective of Korean students and allies advocating for decolonization in Korea and the diaspora, focusing on issues of anti-imperialism, anti-militarism, and Korean unification. Let's give it up for Yuran.
Warm and militant greetings, everyone. My name is Yuran, and I'm a member of Koreans for Decolonization, a growing national organization building anti-imperialist student power grounded in the US-based struggle for Korea's national liberation. As students of the diaspora, we inherit a legacy of resistance. From the March 1st movement against Japanese colonialism in 1919, to the revolutionary struggle in Gwangju against military dictatorship in the 1980s, the students have long realized their role in the fight against capitalism, imperialism, and fascism. Today, students everywhere continue to answer the call and join the fight. While our student movement is growing in consciousness, solidarity, and struggle, we are also under attack. As our peers and comrades, including Korean-American Columbia University student Yoon Seo-chung, face retaliation, detention, and threat of deportation for challenging our university's deep complicity and participation in Israel's genocide in Palestine, we are reminded that these universities hide behind the language of higher education while posing threats to the people's true consciousness. Shame! American universities at home and abroad are war profiteering institutions aiding, abetting, and legitimizing the reach of US imperialist militarization across the globe. Students are funneled into these universities not to feed their curiosity about the world, but to be sharpened, trained, and coerced into tools of imperialist domination. Shame! Our universities mold students to become the diplomats that refuse arms embargoes, the engineers that perfect military drones, the chemists that burn phosphorus into civilian homes, and the journalists that peddle the voice of the state. The imperialists and their education systems distort and deny us access to our own histories. They tell us the Korean War is a forgotten one. But today, on the 72nd anniversary of Armistice, we stand together to affirm that we do not forget. As Korean students, it is our duty to honor our people's legacy of resistance and carry its fervor to the next generation of students and every generation onwards. We must refuse our university's participation in genocide and refuse to serve the war machine through our careers. As students within these institutions, we must resist the weaponization of our education. We must always retain our curiosity about the world around us and equip ourselves with the tools to dialectically analyze our conditions and organize towards a better tomorrow. It is not enough to call for accountability in these institutions. We must struggle for the universities that we want and that we deserve. Let us build an education for the people, away from empire and towards revolution. It is our duty to struggle for our national and collective liberation. Today!
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 Today! Let me hear you say, we don't want no U.S. troops!
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 Keep your war games, keep your nukes!
Keep your war games, keep your nukes!
We don't want no U.S. troops!
We don't want no U.S. troops!
Keep your war games, keep your nukes!
Keep your war games, keep your nukes!
We don't want no U.S. troops!
We don't want no U.S. troops!
Give it up for Yuran. Thank you. Next, we have Sarah from the PSL. Sarah is a longtime comrade from the Party for Socialism and Liberation. Let's give it up for Sarah.
Money for jobs and education. Not for war and occupation. Comrades, it's a profound honor to be standing with all of you today. You all embody the fierce commitment that's required of all of us to fight and struggle for a liberated Korea. And we're all on the streets today because we understand that our fight is collective, it's urgent, and it's going to take all of us. And we're coming together in a new era of repression on the international working class, an era aggressively shaped by the Trump administration. They're clinging to a classic imperial strategy to divide and conquer both here and abroad. Right now, Trump is threatening the ROK with unprecedented tariffs, all while maintaining crushing sanctions on the DPRK. To manufacture consent for the tariffs, the Trump administration is dangling an illusion before workers of new manufacturing jobs. But we see through the smokescreen. We know that these nationalistic tariffs are not pro-worker policies. They're a tool, pure and simple, to bully the Korean Peninsula and all countries into submission. It's an attempt to force nations across the world into brutal competition, a race to the bottom to strike the best deal with U.S. empire. And they push an America First narrative right here at home to us, and yet they raise the cost of essential goods, squeezing working families harder than ever. And we also see these tariffs as an attempt to offset the cost of Trump's massive tax scam, the so-called Big Beautiful Bill, through which over the next decade, $3 trillion by the capitalists' own estimate will be used and come straight from our pockets into the pockets of the billionaires and bankroll an agenda of terror. But I'm asking you, is the working class any better off with cuts to Medicaid and budget boosts for more war, more military bases, and endless war profiteering? And are we any safer with ICE's reign of terror, more raids, more cages, and more families torn apart? We know that they're laying a project of robbing us of our essential services to fund repression and to fund empire abroad. But working people have long seen through these tactics to divide and conquer us. During the Korean War, comrades Paul and Essie Robeson called out how the U.S. used the demonization of Koreans to justify their occupation and to use black soldiers as cannon fodder to carry it out. And how oppression here and oppression abroad work hand in hand to benefit the ruling class at our expense. And in fact, there's a rich but suppressed history of solidarity between progressive movements in the United States and in Korea to fight U.S. occupation, and understanding that U.S. presence in the peninsula has nothing to do with anyone's safety. We know that people across the world, from Korea to Palestine and from Iran to Haiti, deserve not humiliation and terror, but the ability to decide their destinies without U.S. military threatening to bomb them into submission. And we know that this global strategy of division and militarism is the same one used to fracture us here at home. The capitalists stoke fear and hatred because they're terrified. And do you know what they're terrified of? They're terrified of us! The capitalists use divide and conquer tactics because they're deathly afraid of a unified movement, working people from all nationalities, all backgrounds, all walks of life, building together and making the connections between each other's struggles. And on top of that, knowing exactly who our enemy is, because it's not each other. They know that our unity makes our movement unstoppable. So in this era of division and repression, we've got to put forth a program to build a fundamentally different world. Instead of backward destructive tariffs and militarization,
that pits worker against worker and nation against nation. We fight for international relationships rooted in cooperation. We fight to build a new kind of society where people engage in meaningful, dignified work and where resources aren't hoarded by billionaires or sent to endless wars, but provide healthcare, education, and housing for everybody in the United States and for everybody in the world. So comrades, I'm leaving here today, and I hope you're also leaving here today more resolved than ever to fight for the liberation of Korea, to deepen our bonds of solidarity, and to expose and smash the tools of division, whether they're economic tariffs or the poison of white supremacy here, because the future depends on our unity. Our struggle is one, and we can only win what we're organized to take. That's right. U.S. out of Korea! U.S. out of everywhere!
U.S. out of Korea!
U.S. out of Korea!
U.S. out of everywhere!
U.S. out of everywhere!
U.S. killers out the door!
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 No to NATO, no to war!
No to NATO, no to war!
U.S. killers out the door!
U.S. killers out the door!
No to NATO, no to war!
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 U.S. killers out the door!
U.S. killers out the door!
No to NATO, no to war!
No to NATO, no to war!
Thank you, Sarah. Next, we have Yusuf from the Palestinian Youth Movement.
Let's make some noise for Norato. Let's make some noise for an incredible People Summit this weekend. Comrades, there is a common thread between the U.S. military occupation of Korea and the Zionist occupation of Palestine. That common thread is U.S. imperialism. That common thread is a suffocation of sovereignty. And that common thread is the machinery of war draped in the lie of security. It is the United States who has operational control of the South Korean military. It is the United States that holds a tightening leash over a supposedly sovereign nation. And it is the United States who stations tens of thousands of troops on its soil who commit crimes with impunity. Shame! It is also the United States that bankrolls, arms, and shields Zionism. It is the United States who sends mercenaries to massacre starving people waiting in line for food and water. And it is the United States who is the primary architect of the genocidal extermination campaign against the Palestinian people. Comrades, this is not defense. This is what empire looks like. The THAAD missile interceptor system in Korea was never intended to defend anyone. It is intended to contain China and maintain U.S. hegemony in Asia. Shame! And now, that very same missile interceptor system is deployed in Palestine. Shame! Comrades, both South Korea and Israel are militarized U.S. client states. They are both forward bases for American power, and they are both imperial outposts for colonial domination. Despite this, the Korean people resist. They resist against the U.S. bases that steal their land, and they resist against toxins poisoning their land, people, and environment. And they resist against the lie that occupation brings us peace. The Palestinian people also resist. They resist against the bulldozers erasing their history. They resist against the snipers who hunt our children. And they resist a genocide dressed in the lie of self-defense. Shame! Comrades, the struggles of Korea and Palestine are won from the shores of Jeju to the rubble in Jenin. From Seoul to Gaza, the enemy is the same, U.S. imperialism and its death machine. Comrades, our solidarity must be unbreakable and our resolve must be ironclad. Because when the empire falters in one place, you will see cracks in its foundations everywhere. They want us divided, but we will always answer with unity. When they call it security, we know what to call it. It's occupation. And as they continue to build bases, we will continue to build our resistance. All right, comrades, before I wrap up, I'm just going to ask you of two things. Please scan the QR code, take a stand against Zionism, and sign the anti-genocide pledge. And I would like to invite all of you to the UN headquarters on Tuesday at 3 p.m. We are going to be at the UN to demand that all member states fulfill their obligation under international law to intervene in a genocide. We're going to be at the UN to demand an open to the Rafah gates and to end the siege on Gaza. And we are also demanding that all member states cut off diplomatic relationships with Israel and to sanction the Zionist entity. Thank you, comrades. No boots on the ground, no bombs in the air. No boots on the ground, no bombs in the air.
No bombs in the air. Boots on the ground, no bombs in the air. U.S. out of everywhere. U.S. out of everywhere. U.S. out of everywhere. U.S. out of everywhere. Thank you, Yusuf. Our comrades from the Palestinian Youth Movement have been fighting against the genocide in Palestine all across the world. They also have successfully brought Maersk to cut ties with illegal settlements in Palestine through their tireless Mask Off Maersk campaign. Are we done fighting? Are we done fighting? That's right, we're not. We will be out here in solidarity with our Palestinian comrades forever until every inch of Palestine is free. Back to their homeland. So next, we will hear from the Secretary General from Bayan. Bayan is an organization comprised of the basic sectors and progressive forces of Filipinos in the United States to struggle against imperialism, feudalism, and bureaucrat capitalism. They raise the consciousness and organize and mobilize Filipinos in the U.S., build international solidarity amongst all people in the U.S., along the lines of an anti-imperialist united front. So I'm going to invite the Secretary General of Bayan. So give it up to them.
From the ranks of anti-imperialist and militant Filipino youth, students, women, professionals, migrants, and worker organizations across the United States, Bayan USA is in utmost solidarity with the struggle of the Korean people for national liberation! We unite with the call, U.S. out of Korea, U.S. out of the Philippines, U.S. out of everywhere! We are inspired by the care and detail put into organizing the first People Summit for Korea. And we extend our warmest congratulations to Nodutdol and all conveners. And we are here culminating this epic weekend of solidarity in the heart of finance capital, in the heart of Empire, New York City. So to those who are walking by, enjoying your Jollibee fried chicken, which is a multinational corporation of the Philippines, by the way, exploiting thousands and thousands of workers around the world. If you are here enjoying your tourism, please join us and learn from the Korean liberation struggle. The theme of Towards National Liberation is a powerful one. Today marks 72 years since the armistice between the DPRK and the United States. 72 years of the Korean Peninsula being divided along the 30th parallel. 72 years, but many more until liberation is won, am I right? Up to today, Korea remains divided, occupied, and not truly sovereign. Later today also marks the State of the Nation address of Philippine President Bongbong Marcos Jr. There he will peddle lies and boast of his accomplishments, that he was able to open up the Philippines to be a dumping ground for excess goods of the United States, because he zeroed out our tariffs and gave in to Trump's bullying. He will boast of opening up our country to U.S. military presence and housing destructive weapons in our homeland. But Marcos Jr. and his dictator father and every single Philippine president before him are U.S. puppets, bureaucrat capitalists who do the dirty work of U.S. imperialism for them. So like Korea, the Philippines is also occupied and not truly free. But mainstream bourgeois propaganda would have you think that the client states of the United States, like the ROK and the GRP, or the Government Republic of the Philippines, are free and democratic nations. They would have you think that socialism is bad, that the DPRK is a hellhole of despair. But really, the hellhole of despair is where U.S. imperialism has stripped its talents, where U.S. imperialism has supposedly brought democracy and freedom. Our people are not free when our land is plundered for foreign capital, when our people are exploited for the imperialists. Our people
must be in the form of national liberation from the perspective of building socialism. So comrades, our role as the diaspora here in the imperial core is very important. We must support the primary struggles in our homelands for national liberation and genuine sovereignty. As Bayern USA, we support the growth of all anti-imperialist organizations like Nodal and those who convene for the People's Summit for Korea. Because for every nation that liberates itself is a tentacle severed from the imperialist being. So let us link arms in solidarity and strengthen our respective movements. Because through this united front will be a weapon that will decisively bring death to the U.S. empire. And more importantly, we will bring life and dignity to our people and many generations to come. From Korea to the Philippines, stop the U.S. war machine. From Korea to the Philippines, stop the U.S. war machine. One more chant. I'm gonna teach you guys another one. It goes through the regions of the Philippines, okay? And you go, U.S. bases out now. So, Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, U.S. bases out now. Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, U.S. bases out now. Thank you.
U.S. bases out now. U.S. bases out now. Palestine to the Philippines.
From Palestine to the Philippines.
Stop the U.S. war machine.
Stop the U.S. war machine.
From Palestine to the Philippines.
From Palestine to the Philippines.
Stop the U.S. war machine. From Philippines to Mexico. All the walls have got to go. All the walls have got to go. Give it up for the Secretary General, Armaya. So we will now welcome our next speaker, Jim, from the Anti-War Action Network. The Anti-War Action Network is a progressive network of grassroots anti-war organizations around the U.S. committed to building a broad movement opposed to the greatest threat of injustice in the world, the United States and its senseless, destructive wars, sanctions, and interventions. So let's give it up for Jim.
Good afternoon, everyone. Greetings from the Anti-War Action Network. We are so proud, all the 20 plus cities that are affiliated with A1 across this country, to be in unity and solidarity with, as a convening organization of the historic People's Summit for Korea that has established us together, united us as fingers into the fist, as Brother Malcolm used to say, and ready to punch back against U.S. imperialism everywhere. My local organization that I'm here with my comrades from the Tucson Anti-War Committee, we send our solidarity and greetings to the Philippines, the struggle in Korea, to the border, to everywhere U.S. imperialism is punching, but the people are fighting back. Tucson, Arizona is home to a massive Air Force base, right next to a huge border patrol station. The tide ties of imperialism are everywhere. They're woven together by invisible threads, but our work to educate and to inform the people is to make visible those threads. We need to find the politicians, the financiers, like right here in the heart of Manhattan, right down the street at Wall Street, those parasites who feed off us every single day. They donate to the politicians who make sure the weapons manufacturing to the war profiteers like Raytheon and Tucson get all the contracts to cause death and destruction. So we gotta expose them, we gotta mobilize, we gotta make them have a bad day, a worse day than the people of Gaza and Korea have every single day. The A-10 air fighter crafts that come into Tucson Air Force Base are the same A-10s that land in bases in occupied Korea, and we say, hands off Korea! USANA everywhere! That same Raytheon gives to political action committees. As an educator in the state of Arizona, I know they give to our state legislators who deprive our schools of the funding our students need. And those same educators allow the state of Arizona to buy millions in bonds for the Zionist genocide in Gaza. We have to unite as many people that are being attacked by this administration and this declining imperial system as possible. We need faith, we need students, we need educators, we need labor. Call them in, invite them to the next rally, give them that information to show the connections of this dying imperial system that's kidnapping, disappearing, shaming, trying to red bait us into things and just throw out all as many lies to try and get as much mud to stick to that wall as possible. But we fight back when we educate and we organize and we punch back together. So in all the small towns, medium-sized and big cities, go find the imperialists in your community, organize against them, unite the broadest base possible, and we will find the world we will win by destroying each and every tentacle of this dying system, and we can find and build the world we need together. Thank you so much. Today.
Let's bring out another chant. And it goes like this. That's bullshit! Get off it!
That's bullshit! Get off it!
These wars are for profit!
These wars are for profit!
That's bullshit! Get off it!
That's bullshit! Get off it!
These wars are for profit!
These wars are for profit!
That's bullshit! Get off it!
That's bullshit! Get off it!
These wars are for profit!
Wars are for profit!
That's bullshit! Get off it!
That's bullshit! Get off it!
These wars are for profit!
These wars are for profit!
Thank you, It is my great honor to introduce our next and last speaker. We have Ham Jae-gyu from the Korean Confederation of Trade Unions from South Korea. Ham Jae-gyu alongside over 1 million Korean Confederation of Trade Union members engaged in a 6-month-long nationwide struggle on the front lines to bring down dictator Yoon Suk-yeol. Puppet dictator Yoon declared martial law, and the KCTU and the Korean people won to bring him down. So give it up for Ham Jae-gyu.
여러분과 함께 민족 자주대회에서 함께해서 영광입니다. 한국의 민주노총 함재규 부위원장입니다.
It is my honor to participate in the People's Summit for Korea towards national liberation. My name is Ham Jae-gyu, and I am the Reunification Chair in the Korean Confederation of Trade Unions.
한반도는 자주의 땅이 되어야 합니다.
The peninsula must become a land of national liberation.
120년 전 가스라테프트 밀락으로 비롯된 울산의격은 일본의 한반도 강제 점령을 용인한 미국이 시작한 치욕과 비극이었습니다. 그리고 아직도 그 폐악적 여운은 청산하지 못한 역사 속에서 구구내란 전쟁 세력의 활개를 보고 있습니다.
120 years ago, the United States effectively condoned Japan's forcible occupation of the Korean peninsula through the 1905 Japan-Korea Protectorate Treaty, rooted in the secret Taft-Katsura Agreement, a disgraceful and tragic betrayal of Korean sovereignty. And still, within this unresolved history, tainted by its vile legacy, we witness the rampant resurgence of far-right insurgent war factions.
또한 주도권과 지배의 바통만 일본에서 미국으로 넘어갔을 뿐 간접 통치의 수단과 방법은 더욱 치밀해지고 노란 것이 바로 대한민국의 현실입니다.
The reality is that control and domination over South Korea did not end. Japan simply passed the baton to the United States, and over time the United States have only developed more sophisticated and brazen instruments to facilitate their so-called indirect rule.
미국은 한반도를 해방시킨 나라입니까? 한국은 진정으로 해방되었습니까? 울산은 약 120년, 광복 80년이 되는 올해에도 여전한 의문입니다.
Did the U.S. liberate Korea? No! Did their liberation truly make Korea free? No! This question still remains unresolved today, 120 years after the Japan-Korea Treaty and 80 years after Liberation Day.
전쟁 중에도 적대 국가와의 교신을 하는 것이 바로 대외관계의 기본입니다. 그러나 남북관계는 지난 윤석열 정권의 9.19 군사합의 파기로 모든 것이 단절되었습니다. 또한 3번에 걸쳐 평양에 보낸 남한의 무인기 침투는 전쟁을 의도했음이 지난 윤석열 정권의 계엄 내란 사태에서 밝혀졌습니다.
Even in the midst of war, maintaining communication with enemy states is a basic tenet of foreign relations. Yet, under the Yoon Suk-yeol administration, inter-Korean relations plummeted to an unprecedented low when Yoon broke the September 10th military agreement, shattering the possibility of even the most basic dialogue between the North and South. Moreover, during the recent martial law crisis, Yoon orchestrated 3 drone infiltrations into Pyongyang, undeniable acts of war as confirmed during his trials.
한국과 미국, 일본은 지난 2023년 캠프 데이비드 선언을 통해 북한, 중국, 러시아를 적으로 규정했습니다. 미국은 또한 대만 방어를 본토 방어와 동등화 수준으로 격상시켰습니다. 한일 간에는 군수지원협정 움직임을 비롯해 한미일은 전쟁을 하기 위한 군사동맹으로 나아가려 합니다. 군사협력의 범위도 인도 태평양과 그 너머로 넓히려 하고 있습니다.
In the 2023 Camp David Declaration, Korea, US, and Japan designated North Korea, China, and Russia as their adversaries. Moreover, the US has elevated the so-called defense of Taiwan to a level equal to that of the defense of the US mainland. These advancements, along with the actions through the acquisition and cross-servicing agreement, reveal that South Korea, the United States, and Japan are steering towards a formal military alliance. The scope of military cooperation is expanding to what's been named as the Indo-Pacific and beyond.
제이비어 브런슨 주한미군 사령관은 주한미군은 태평양, 인도태평양 전력의 일부라고 한국은 중국 앞에 떠있는 고정된 항공모함이라고 했습니다. 이는 대만 전쟁 시에 주한미군 투입과 한국도 전쟁 지역과 한다는 이른바 전략적 유연성입니다. 결국 인도태평양 전략의 목표는 중국이고 이 전략을 실행할 수단이 바로 한미일 군사동맹이라는 것입니다. 이쯤 되면 오히려 미국이 한국에 주둔하는 비용을 내야 하는 것이 마땅하지 않겠습니까?
General Xavier Brunson, commander of the U.S. Forces Korea, stated that the U.S. military presence in Korea is part of the Indo-Pacific strategy, describing South Korea as a fixed aircraft carrier in front of China. This strategy is one that allows the U.S. to flexibly deploy their forces to South Korea during a war in Taiwan, which would turn Korea into a battlefield. Ultimately, the target of the Indo-Pacific strategy is China, and the means to carry out this strategy is none other than the U.S. ROK Japan military alliance. At this point, shouldn't it be the U.S. military that pays South Korea for the cost of stationing their troops on our land?
한미일 군사동맹은 일본이 전쟁할 수 있는 국가가 되는 것을 허락하고 이웃 국가들을 적대화하여 전쟁 군사동맹으로 나아가고 있습니다. 이에 따른 한반도 전쟁기지와는 불보듯뻔하고 신냉전 대결로 전쟁의 길은 동북아의 평화를 위협하고 있습니다.
It's becoming clear that the U.S. ROK Japan military alliance serves both Japan's remilitarization and rise as a military power. This antagonization of neighboring countries will eventually lead them into a wartime military alliance. It is only a matter of time before the peninsula becomes transformed into a war base. The heightened risk of war under this new Cold War framework is threatening peace in Northeast Asia.
한국과 일본이 미국의 대중국 전쟁기지라는 것은 전략자산 배치를 통해서 드러나고 있습니다. 미국은 전략 폭격기 비연비를 이미 일본 미사와 기지에 배치했습니다. 일본은 미국산 토마호크를 또한 토마호크 순항미사일 400기를 구입할 것이고 신형 이지스함을 2028년까지 2척 배치하기로 했습니다. 또한 미국은 한국의 군산 공군기지에 핵무기를 탑재할 수 있는 F-35A 전투기 1개 비행대대를 상시 배치했습니다. 지난해 송탄 미군 공군기지에는 F-16 슈퍼 비행대대를 창설하였고 두 번째 창설을 검토하고 있습니다.
The fact that South Korea and Japan are being transformed into bases for the United States war against China is clearly observable through the U.S.'s deployment of strategic assets. The U.S. has forward deployed its B-1B strategic bombers to Misawa Air Base in Japan, and Japan has agreed to the early acquisition of 400 U.S.-made Tomahawk cruise missiles and plans to deploy 2 new Aegis destroyers by 2028. In addition, the U.S. has permanently stationed an F-35A fighter squadron at Kunsan Air Base in South Korea and established a super squadron of F-16s at Osan Air Base last year, with a second such unit currently under consideration.
이처럼 동북아 평화는 미국에 의해서 심각하게 위협받고 있습니다.
Peace in Northeast Asia is under severe threat.
한미일 군사동맹은 전쟁동맹입니다. 미국은 동맹을 전쟁에 동원하는 것을 당장 멈추십시오. 일본은 재무장과 평화헌법 훼손을 중단하십시오.
The U.S. ROK Japan Trilateral Military Alliance is a war alliance. The United States must stop mobilizing its allies for war. And Japan must halt its remilitarization and the erosion of its peace constitution.
한국은 이웃나라와 적이 되고 싶지 않습니다. 한국은 미국의 용병국가가 아닙니다. 미국은 당장 이웃나라를 적대화하는 계획을 중단하십시오. 지구촌 전민족의 단결과 조합으로 전쟁을 반대하고 반드시 평화를 실현해야 합니다.
Korea does not want to become enemies with its neighboring nations. Korea is not a mercenary state of the United States. The U.S. must stop forcing Korea to antagonize its neighboring nations. All the peoples of the world will oppose war with unity and resistance. We must win our peace.
한반도를 비롯한 지구촌 모든 곳은 미국의 전쟁기지가 될 수 없습니다. 우리의 운명은 우리 스스로 결정하는 민족 체결과 민족 차지의 목소리로 저항할 때 모든 국가의 평등은 비로소 실현됩니다. 모든 민족의 자유일침이 반드시 내일의 평화를 가져올 수 있습니다. 지구촌 온 민족들이 함께 투쟁합시다.
Nowhere in the world, not the peninsula, not anywhere else, should serve as a base for U.S. wars. When we resist with the voice of the people, the voice of national liberation and sovereignty, we decide our fate and realize true equality among nations. The cry for independence from all peoples will bring tomorrow's peace. Let us join together in struggle, all of us, the peoples of the world.
US over Korea!
US out of Korea!
US over everywhere!
US out of everywhere!
단결! 단결! 고맙습니다! 단결! No boots on the ground, no bombs in the air. US out of everywhere. No boots on the ground, no bombs in the air. US out of everywhere. Thank you, Chegu. We will continue to stand in solidarity with our comrades in South Korea to oppose war and achieve lasting peace by unifying the resistance of all peoples across the world. Tujang! Tujang! Now, we will invite our very own Hyoan to the stage to sing the US Out of Korea song. This is a song that our comrades in South Korea sing at their rallies to demand the U.S. out of Korea. This song highlights our continued fight and commitment to true liberation in Korea as we continue to live under the U.S. military occupation. So if you know this song, please sing with us, and I'm going to invite Hyoan to lead us.
일본 놈들이
부르며 주소민주의 이름으로 이제 끝장을 버리라. 몰아내자 몰아내자 저 한민국 몰아내자. 여기는 우리의 땅 저 한민국 몰아내자. 놈들이 쓸어버리고 우린 통일로 가리라. 우리들은 우리의 힘으로 우린 영계적하다. 몰아내자 몰아내자 저 한민국 몰아내자. 여기는 우리의 땅 저 한민국 몰아내자. 대한민국 몰아내자. Are y'all ready to march? Are y'all ready to merge? All right, we're gonna line up right here behind the banners, and we're gonna start marching. So I wanna hear you. Tangyun! 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 So boots on the ground, no bombs in the air. U.S. out of everywhere. U.S. out of everywhere. U.S. out of everywhere. No boots on the ground, no bombs in the air. U.S. out of everywhere. U.S. out of everywhere. U.S. out of everywhere. U.S. out of everywhere. Boots on the ground, no bombs in the air. U.S. out of everywhere. U.S. out of everywhere. U.S. out of everywhere. No boots on the ground, no bombs in the air. U.S. out of everywhere. U.S. out of everywhere. U.S. killers at the door.
You are son of everywhere!
Korea.